Hello everybody, welcome back to MsSnufulupugus Plays Hardcore Minecraft. And unfortunately the reason that I have not recorded lately in these past couple weeks is I went on vacation down to Bonnaroo, which was amazing. And as you might be able to hear, I still have a bit of a sore throat, so it's a little difficult for me to talk. If you see me taking a few extra cuts, that is the reason. Just because of my sore throat, I'll be pausing so I don't blow out your speakers with coughing. But yeah, so last time I talked about my trip down to Atlantic City, which was a ton of fun. Also, what's happened since then? Oh yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend, which was great. Luckily, I have a lot of flexibility at my job, so I was able to take off the Friday beforehand, which is when I went down to Atlantic City. And then I also had, obviously, Memorial Day weekend off, so I had a nice long 4-day weekend and started off right with the fun times at the casinos and felt like I was really on the ball. And I got invited to go see my friend's house, and they had moved in a couple months ago and I had not seen their new place yet. So I was really excited to check out their new place, and it was beautiful. Really an amazing house. Someplace I would definitely want to live myself. Just a really cozy area. They got a couple kegs, they had a DJ, and the party was going all day. It started around like 2 o'clock. I was there basically all night until like 12:31. And since I had been drinking, I drove there. There weren't really too many places to stay because a lot of people were already crashing out there. So I was talking to this guy most of the party, and he said, oh, you know, where do you live? And I told him, he said, I live really close to there. He's like, you know, I haven't been drinking. If you like, I would be willing to drive your car home back to your place, and then I can walk home afterwards. So I said, oh, okay, that sounds like a great idea. And so we get in the car. I look at him driving for a little while, and he seems like he's being responsible. He's not swerving or anything, so I was pretty confident and I felt safe. So I started to doze off a little bit, and then realized when I woke up, to a crash, bang, and a boom, that we got into an accident. I had no idea what happened. All I knew is that my car had come in contact with another car. I'm scared, I'm a little bit drunk, and the guy, he looks over at me and he asks me if I'm okay. And I said, you know, I don't really know, like, what the heck happened here? And then, to my astonishment, he gets out of the car. Oh, here's a good spot for those ladders. I can see what's up there. To my astonishment, it's probably just that, isn't it? Yeah. To my astonishment, he gets out of the car and runs. So now I'm thinking, like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, I thought this guy was a nice guy. We had so much in common. We were gonna be friends. And he turns out to be a moral scumbag. Like, what type of person invites or offers, you know, to take a woman safely home and then crashes her car? Like, what the heck? So luckily, the officers that were on the scene were really nice, really understanding. And mind you, I'm also paranoid that they're thinking that I just got into the passenger seat because I had been drinking, and they thought that I was actually the one that was driving and was just trying to pull that as a way of not getting a DUI. So I was paranoid about that. Luckily for me, the people in the other car that we had hit had seen these people. Oh, it's nighttime. There's nothing else for me to do down there, so I think I'm just going to make a run for it. So yeah, they had seen somebody in my vehicle get out of the driver's side seat. Really saved my life. At least my driving integrity. But now, you know, I'm still really scared because the other people had gotten taken away. They were in an ambulance, and I wasn't sure if they were badly injured and what was going to happen as far as insurance was concerned and liability at this point. I had no idea whose fault it was. So this was a big issue, and I've never been in an accident before, so I was really scared. Like I said, luckily the officers were nice. They weren't acting as if it was going to be made my fault or anything like that. So I called my friend to come pick me up because my car was going to get totaled. It was a mess. So my friend comes and he picks me up, and you know, we're talking, and he's like, "What happened?" And I said, "You know, I really wish I had a better idea about what happened, but I don't." I said, "You know, just wait, you know, you'll find something else out." And to my surprise, the officer actually called me the very next day, and on Memorial Day, on the holiday, just to check in to see how I was doing, to make sure, you know, I didn't have any aches or pains or anything like that. And I felt like I had gotten beat up. Like I was certainly not 100% okay, but I wasn't, like, I didn't feel like I needed to go to the hospital or anything, for sure. So I was feeling okay. Just kind of astonished at the fact that somebody would actually do something like that to another person. Why would he run? He said he hadn't been drinking. I don't know, maybe he had drugs on him, was scared by the police, or I don't really know. But while this stuff cooks, I'm going to wait inside until daytime, and I'll finish up the rest of the story when I come back. Okay, so daytime is on the rise. So yeah, where was I? So on the scene of the accident, the officer had asked me, "Do you know what the guy's name was?" And at that point, I couldn't remember. I could tell you everything about, like, what types of movies he was into, what books he had read recently, what he does for a living, but I couldn't remember his name. I knew exactly what he looked like. If I saw a picture of him, I knew I could find it. So I spent the next couple days, I guess, doing what they call Facebook stalking, going around to all of my friends that were there at the parties, going onto their friends list and seeing if I could recognize the guy. Really hoping that luck was going to pull through for me. And it did. I found him. I was like, yes, this is the guy. I had to go in and give my statement to the police, to the state troopers. And they said that the name and the date of birth I gave him, turns out he had a suspended license. So that kind of, I guess, makes sense on why he would have run from the scene. But that still is not a very good excuse, because if he had stayed on the scene of the accident, even with a suspended license, the worst that would have happened was he would have gotten a ticket. But now that he's fled the scene of the accident, there's a warrant out for his arrest, and it was just so much stress and so much drama. You know, I have a totaled car now, so I have to be paying for a rental to go and get myself to work and run my errands. I mean, even though my mom and my employers and my friends were helping me out, there's really only so much that I can ask of them before I feel like it's a little bit too much. But I guess it was nice to be able to have the rentals, because I could essentially test drive cars that I might have been interested in. So I drove the Honda Civic, which I did not like, all new cars. I drove the Elantra, and that's okay. It was not anything fantastic, but it was a nice car. I could see myself driving it, but I'm not sure about everything in the long term. And so then I also test drove a Honda Fit, which was nice. It was small, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for. The view was great from the car, the visibility fantastic, but wasn't quite for me. And then I test drove a new Mazda 3, and I loved it. Absolutely loved the Mazda 3. So then I started the process of buying the car and doing a little bit of haggling, and now I've got a new car. It was a really cool experience, lo and behold, despite the trauma of everything. I guess I should probably improve my wheat farm. I haven't even needed to go for wheat in a while. But yeah, at the Memorial Day party, I had played a game that I never played before, which I guess was by many different names. This particular group was calling it Cornholio, and basically you have two boards across from one another, and the idea is you have to swing these bean bags on the teams to get it into this little hole. And it was a fun game. I wasn't really doing too great, but there were people there that were either drunker than me or just much less coordinated than me, throwing the balls all over the place on top of the roof, you know, trying to hit somebody in the head. I mean, accidentally hitting somebody in the head, but I felt okay. I was like, you know, I got it on the board at least a few times, and I actually made it in. So I thought that was just a great summer barbecue game. And I had a lot of fun doing that. I can give a look here on see how my old wheat farm and original hidey hole is doing. Then I think I'll probably call it an episode. I cleared out that ravine, so I'm going to have to find a new place to explore. I was hoping that might have had maybe a cave branching off of it that might lead me down to some diamonds, because I'd really like to get going on some diamonds. But or at least some gold too, so I can get a compass, and I'll need some redstone for, gold for a clock. I'll need redstone for the compass. And everything looks in order here. My wheat is completely grown. But also the other first time thing for me that happened at the barbecue was a pig roast. There was a whole complete pig at this barbecue, and I'd never seen, I mean, I've eaten pork before, but I just get a pork chop. You know, I don't see it with the head and the feet and lying there all cooked up on this big roaster. And it was delicious. It was some of the most delicious meat that I've ever had the pleasure of eating. Super fresh, and it was long cooked, so it really had some great flavor. I was very happy to have been able to participate in that. So it was lots of first timers. First time having somebody drive my car and getting it totaled. First time playing Cornholio, and first pig roast. So it was quite the experience. And my first time renting a car, and I tell you, those rental cars are disgusting. I know they must try and clean them, at least to some extent, but it doesn't really work. I'm gonna hope my chicken makes some more eggs, or maybe I can try and find one more, but for now I think that'll be about it for this episode. I've cleared out the ravine, and my throat's starting to get a little sore from all the talking, but hopefully I'll be feeling better and I can get these up more regularly. I did get a good bunch of iron from that ravine at least. Yeah, it's about 46 in total. I've got some good experience. So yeah, I think I'll just do some inventory cleaning, and my goal for the next episode will either A, get another chicken for some feathers. I need more arrows, I've only got 4. And then find a new place to explore, and maybe a new location for a home that isn't so far up. Even though this is nice and safe and I can see a lot of things going on, it's difficult to navigate up and down, so I might have a beachfront home next time. We'll see. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the feedback, and I hope you're having as much fun as I am. Alright, talk to you later. Bye-bye.